Good evening and welcome to Avini Vibes UK. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a returning guest, we are extremely delighted to have you here with us. And before we get started, it's just a quick reminder. At Avini, we make no medical claims. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Everything shared this evening is for educational purposes only, and any testimonials or personal experiences are those of the individual who shares them. So if we don't make medical claims, what's the philosophy? What is it behind what we do? Our chief our chief science officer, Rick Dyche, often says, a cleaner, healthier body fixes itself. And that's the philosophy at the heart of everything that we do here at Avini. So tonight is an experience for you to listen, learn, ask questions, and discover more about our products, the science behind them, our business opportunity, and the vision of our company. And we hope that this evening you leave with a better understanding of Avini, our products, and our community. So welcome everyone, those of us from the UK, and for those joining from the US, I am very, very happy to see you here with us tonight. And I am honored to welcome our guest speaker tonight, who is Ed Quasky. Hi, Ed. And you'll be hearing more from him in the next few minutes. And who am I? I have the honor of being the host. My name is Suzette McLean, and I'm the host of Avini Vibes UK. And I have with me my co-host tonight, which is Christine Rolando, and she's from New York. Christine?
Hello, Suzette. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
It's a pleasure to have you with me too. I love you, Christine. So thanks for being with me tonight and sharing this. And I'd like to introduce someone else to you too, which is Kevin Anderson. Kevin, would you like to come on camera and introduce yourself to everyone?
I can introduce myself, but unfortunately, I am suffering from a cold, a flu symptoms. I look terrible, so I'd rather not put on my camera. But I am sitting here wrapped in a towel because I'm really sort of shivering. But yes, I'm Kevin Anderson, and I work with Suzette on Avini. So yeah, I can send you a picture if you want. That looks better.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Kevin. Even despite you not being 100%, so glad you're with us. And Kevin will be hosting Avini over the next few weeks while I take a leave of absence, if that's the way to put it. And you'll be seeing him in the flesh in future from next week going forward. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. You'll be seeing me from next week onwards. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Hopefully, I will feel better, a lot better by then. But yeah, right now I'm sitting here. The sweat is pouring off me, so I've got a towel, and yeah, just not a very pretty sight, I must say. But yeah.
Well, next week, Kevin, you'll have the opportunity to interview our Vice President, Mickey Dillon. Suzette and I just confirmed Mickey. So Mickey Dillon, our Vice President, will be our guest next week.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be good. Good. Thank you very much for that.
I'm looking forward to watching that recording. And that's exciting times. We've got Mickey coming to join us. Avini Vibes UK is growing from strength to strength. I am so excited about that. So, with all of that said, I would like to introduce Ed Quasky. Ed, thank you again for joining us all the way from the States. And would you like to share with everyone who you are, what you're up to, what brought you to Avini, and everything else that you'd like to share with us tonight? So I will hand over to you if that's okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine. How are you? That's I'll tell you, You folks in England just sound a lot smarter than we do. I mean, it's just like I love your accent.
Listen, I'm already sold. Ed, come back again. You
Yeah.
don't need to say anything else. I'm sold.
I love your outfit too. Anyway, okay. I'm good. All right, I'm good. Yeah, so I my introduction to Avini was by a friend of mine named Kyle Helm. Kyle is a buddy I've known for 13 years, and Pat Tracy and our crew from the U.S., Christine, of course, we all know Kyle. And Kyle is he's been very successful in anything he's ever done, and he is actually on our executive board. And he called me about this, and I had a background in homeopathic from my mother. My mother was a phlebotomist, and my mother always was studying and researching and find root cause. And basically, her concept was always what we do now is clean the body. You have to clean the body. And I kind of was raised on that concept. And she was a realtor by nature, but her passion, her love was helping people get better from whatever it is that they had. And so I kind of carried the torch. She passed away in 19, and ironically enough, Rick's products were with another company back in the time where my mother really caught fire with this whole concept, and 15 and 16. And it's funny, I think I told Christine, I found an old email from my mother I never opened about a year ago, where she was begging people to look at the zeolite, the toxolite, what we have now. So anyway, Kyle called me, and as soon as he told me what it did and what it was, I said, okay, one, we have something now that everybody on the planet needs. Okay. Everybody. All right. So when you find a product that is superior to everything else in the market, there's nobody that can touch what we have. They can't touch it. The only thing they could do is try to knock it off, and they can't do it. And so now you got the best product on the planet for cleaning and healing the body, right? And amongst the other things that our products do. And so when you look at those two things, best in the world, nobody else has it. And everybody needs it. Three things, right? You walk into Costco, some people might need diet products. Some people might need this product. Some people might need the, headache. We got something for womb to the tomb, a pregnant mother to 100-year-old, right? Taking a shower on the inside. So it took me 2 seconds. I said, yeah, man, I'm in. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even anything to think about. And the coolest part is my partner in crime here, Christine, who I've known for 35 years, she's like my third sister. I immediately called her, and she came in the day after I did. And I remember specifically, I told her, Christine, listen, we've done other things together, and this is the one. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you what to do. You need to get in this with me. And she was like, okay, what is it? And so that's how we got cranked up January 13th, 14th of 2023, right, Christine? I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So everything since then, the gratification that comes from this is better than the money. And the money is a byproduct of blessing other people. Everybody that is in Avini and has created any kind of an income comes from a story that was told. Okay. As somebody has a story, I've gotten paid what I get paid from stories, from people having their stories, and then they share their stories, and they share their stories, and so on and so on. We don't advertise. We're just a company that thrives on other people telling their story. And it's so much more believable. And so you put it on the shelves. It's just one of 100 detox products you see out there in Whole Foods or Sprouts or whatever. So I gravitated to this. I absolutely love what I do, more than real estate, which I've been doing for 30 years. That is, sell a house, get fired. Sell a house, you're fired. Sell a house, you're fired. This is help someone, bless someone with better health. And as a byproduct, you get paid over and over and over, residual type income. So that is what attracted me. I knew that I wanted a residual income. I knew I wanted something that everybody needed. And I knew I wanted something that was rare and unique to the world. And that's what we have. So that's in a long roundabout way why I'm in Avini. And if you'd like me to go on with I don't know where you want me to go from here. I can go with products and start talking about that. You tell me.
Well, thank you for sharing your journey with us with Avini. And I'm grateful for that you've been with the company so many years, and even more so, you have a relationship with Christine that's been going on for 35 years. So that says a lot. So please do share your version of the products in a simplified version, because we have the video by Rick, which is amazing. And as you know, Rick knows the products because he makes them, and he is super smart and can use 11 syllable words in a sentence. So I'd be grateful if you would share with us the products in your words, please.
Yeah, well, that's easy to do because I don't know his words, and so it's yeah. I mean, but it's impressive when he says them.
Yeah.
But I'll do layman's terms the best I can. Yeah. So
Thank you.
yeah. And by the way, I was a baseball player for half of my life. Played baseball, and so one quick thing about building a business is in baseball, if you're a 300 hitter, which means you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're considered successful. So I just want to touch that with the business part of it. Not everybody's going to want this, not everybody's going to want to do this, but everybody needs it. They just don't maybe know it right now. So, all right, let me do the best I can to go through these products. Christine used to have me have to do this in like 2.5 minutes. You're going to give me a little bit of time here, so
most definitely. You can relax. You've got a good 15 minutes.
Plenty of time. Okay. All right. So the first one obviously is going to be the Cell Defender, right? So I'm going to touch this, and I will touch a little bit of how it's created. So over the course of 50, 100,000 years, volcanic eruptions that took place create lava and ash. And when that lava and ash hits salt water, it forms little crystalline type structures, okay, in nature. Those structures are crystalline in nature, kind of like a honeycomb, and they suck in all the toxins and the metals and the things from the air, the pollution, all those things. They're a negatively charged mineral that Rick Deitch, if you picture them, I'm kind of visual, I'll kind of paint a few pictures for you guys. Imagine Rick Deitch standing in New Mexico, which is where we get our stuff from. And there's different versions. This is called a zeolite that I'm talking about. And there's different versions of zeolites. And Rick decided that the clinoctillolite is the best version of the zeolite to use to take metals out of the body. Okay. This is designed to take heavy metals out of the body. And imagine him standing on a beach in New Mexico and saying, hey, that right there has zeolite in it, all that sand. And if I can take that, which is sucking all the pollution and everything, all the toxins out of the air and from the water, and I can get that in the human body in a drop form and have that do the same thing in the body and then urinate it out of the body where it's doing no damage, it's not cumbersome at all. Wow, that would be crazy. And so what he did exactly that. 7 years it took him to perfect this process. Now, there's a couple things he had to do. Is he had to micronize and activate these dirty little cages. Okay. By micronize, I mean he had to break them down without compromising the structure of the cages, less than the size of a micron. Now, try to wrap your head around how big a micron is. All right. Take a piece of sand. It's massive compared to a micron. Try to take some talcum powder, put it on your desk, and try to separate a piece of talcum powder. It's impossible. You can't do it. That's bigger than a micron. Now you got the idea. All right. But he had to make them small enough so they can circulate through the bloodstream. Okay. Get it all throughout the body. And the reason this is so critically important is because the World Health Organization says there are two things that contribute to basically 99% of all disease. That is heavy metals, bad heavy metals, and environmental toxins, volatile organic compounds. All right. We cover all that. Okay. We have all that covered. So you take this product, you break it down, you make it small and tiny, and then you got to clean it. That's the activation part. Okay. You clean it out. It's a clean sponge now as opposed to a dirty sponge. Now, these drops go into the body. These drops, one drop of Cell Defender represents 200,000 of those tiny little cages. They're attracted to the bad metals, which are positively charged. So there's an automatic attraction there, right? So the positively charged bad metals come in, they're sucked into the cages go throughout the body. And then the next time you urinate, you're urinating heavy metals. By heavy metals, I'm talking about cadmium, aluminum, lead, arsenic, mercury, all those things. Here's the genius behind this cell defender. There's also those metals that are the good ones. Now that's sodium, magnesium, potassium, phosphorus. Those metals are positively charged as well, but they're too big to get in the cage. They circulate, they go through the cage and out of the cage. They do not stay in the cage. So when they are left alone, the bad ones are gone. The mercury and arsenic and those things tie themselves and link themselves up and lock up the calcium and magnesium. So when they're sucked into the cages, the bad guys, now the ball and chain is off of the calcium and magnesium, they can thrive. Okay. So you're getting rid of the good. I mean, you're getting rid of the bad and you're maintaining the good. Now, I always call what we have, we're a homeopathic natural cleaning company. That's what we do. We're a cleaning company and we're a subtraction company. We don't add stuff. You know, people say, well, I take vitamin E, A, I, O, U, selenium, mushroom tea. That's great. And I have an organic diet. Okay, great. But you're not taking out the stuff that's creating the issues in your body. You put all that stuff into a dirty body, it's not going to be as good. Put it in a clean body, it's going to do a better job, right? It's going to work better. So that's Cell Defender. Nano Silver is a 1-2 punch. Okay, Nano Silver, you've heard of colloidal silver, ionic silver. Any other silver is inferior to our Nano Silver, and here's why. Ionic silver is too small, all right? It can damage the immune system. Colloidal silver is too big. It's clumpy. It can clump up. If you don't believe me, go Google Blue Men colloidal silver. You take too much of it, you turn blue. Literally, I'm talking about darker than that Nano Silver bottle behind you. I'm talking about navy deep blue. And it's irreversible. So when you have a product that you got to watch how much you take. Well, that to me is a red flag, right? Hey, you can take this, it'll kill some bacteria, but you can't take too much. Well, that's a red flag. All right. You could drink a whole bottle of our stuff. I actually did it. A quick story. I had my second hernia surgery December 17th. It was scheduled 4 days before that. I had my blood work done. Doctor calls, says, hey, there's an infection in your blood. I have no idea what it is. I can't do the surgery. I'm like, our deductible is going to go up $10,000 at the first of the year. I got to have this surgery done December 17th. He said, I can't do it, but I will call the hospital. You can go in there, get your blood work done, have them shoot it over to me today. If it looks okay, you can have your surgery. I went to the hospital, I had a whole bottle of Nano in the car with me. I drank the whole thing, whole thing. Can't hurt you, just cost you some money. But I went in, they did the blood work. 4 hours later, doctor walked in. He said, hey, I love having these kind of conversations with my patients. He said, we can't find anything. Your blood works fine. You know, he said, might have been a false positive and all that. I'm like, yeah, I know what it was. Okay, that's fine. I just want to have my surgery and get it over with. So that's the power of that. Goes in, kills anything alive in the body that's not supposed to be there. Bacteria, yeast, mold, anything that's not supposed to be there, moving around. Parasites, it kills them. And I picture it like this. Okay, it goes in, illuminates them. All right. And lights them up. And then if the white blood cells didn't see them before, they'll see them now. They go and find them, kill them. Now you got the bad heavy metals, the dead stuff, and the live stuff being killed. Now, really quick story. Kyle Helm, the guy that brought me in, his daughter had a little round circle on her leg. She came into his office and at home and said, Dad, what is this? He said, oh, you got ringworm. And she was like, what? I got a worm in my body? He said, yeah, you got a ringworm. And it's like, well, what'd I do? He said, well, go get me the Nano Silver. By the way, that comes in a gel form too. And so he sprayed it in her mouth. She's getting ready to go to school. She's 16 years old, sprayed it in her mouth. And then he sprayed it on her leg. And she went to school, came home after school. It was kind of halfway gone. And then that night, sprayed some more, got up next morning, almost all the way gone, came home from school, it was gone. Here's the point. That thing had no chance. That worm was attacked from the inside, right? You got the Nano going on the inside. Then on the outside, it was trapped and it was killed 2 different ways. Boom, here and here, dead. So that is so powerful. I got friends of mine that call me and tell me stories once a week about what that stuff does. Spray it in your mouth, spray it in your ears, spray it in your eyes, even on with the gel. You spray it on your tooth or put it on your toothbrush, brush your teeth with it. All right, I got to start zipping through here, guys, because I'm spending too much time on each one, but you get the idea. Let me go with the fiber. All right, I'm just going to say this about the fiber. The fiber goes into the gut. It helps with stabilizes blood sugar. It's great for that. Glucose levels, stabilizes glucose levels. It supports a healthy colon and gut. Here's the key about the fiber. Your gut is your second brain. Okay. You got to make sure that's healthy. Okay. The coolest part about it is this is not just any other fiber. You will lose some weight with it as well, but One, it tastes good, but two, it has our detoxolite in it. Rick branded the name it's detoxolite. So this detoxolite in the fiber is a little bit coarser. It goes in and kind of scrapes through a little bit. It has to get that stuff out of the colon, the intestines, and the gut, and all that. So incredible product. We could function. Most of these products I'm telling you about right now so far, we could have a company just on each one of these. Let me hit Z-Immunity mushrooms. 7, just going to use my words on this, 7 medicinally, organically grown, non-GMO mushrooms. Okay, they're grown together in competition with one another. They're the best in the world. Cordyceps, turkey tail, the other 5, but they're grown together and they have to fight to survive. All right, they fight the environment, they fight predators, could be hot, cold, swampy, whatever. They're fighting to survive, to get to the sun, to survive, right? Well, if you imagine that they can survive and they can fight that hard to survive themselves, what would they do in the body? Okay. And I did make a few notes on that. This is incredible, these mushrooms. Improve blood flow. The immune system gets better, normalizes cholesterol, provides liver protection, improves respiratory function. It's antibacterial, antifungal. It goes in, it's like a bunch of walkie-talkies in the body, talking to one another, finding out where there's bad guys. Okay. So that coupled with, then you've got everything I'm talking about works synergistically together to help the body fight and get rid of stuff, get rid of it. So now we're to the point now, anything that comes in that's an invader, you got no chance. You got an army inside of you that's going to basically be ready to take you on, kill you, and flush you out. So let me touch on, okay, let me hit Plus Hydration for a sec. That is our hydration product, and it tastes great. I had a buddy of mine that he would drink it in the morning with breakfast, and then lunch he would have with lunch. He said, I gave up sweet tea. I drink Plus Hydration. Like, it does taste pretty good. But the idea behind the Plus Hydration is it's like your body took a drink of water, or your whole body took a drink. There's something called, and here's a little scientific term called osmolality. And that is your stomach has an osmolality of 250, which means basically it can process and absorb water at a level of 250 or lower. So a Gatorade, for example, is like 280. It doesn't get into the tissues and throughout the body. It goes, sits in the stomach and is urinated out. Ours goes in the body and it basically just shoots throughout the entire body. So the whole body took a drink. And also the cool part is, I know our CEO said this at one of our conferences, putting a scoop of this in maybe a 10-ounce or 12-ounce bottle of water is like drinking 3 bottles of water. It hydrates your body and for a longer time than normal stuff, because normal stuff just gets in and out. Plus balances the hormones for men and women. And the women love this part. Guys do too. It's great for hair, skin, and nails. And it also protects the liver. That's one of the coolest things about the Plus Balance is, liver is everything. So in addition to balancing the hormones with men and women, get better hair, better skin, better nails, and also the liver. Plus Cardio basically makes the heart a more efficient pump. It really helps improve the function of the heart. And we have actually had people that have had where people say congestive heart failure is basically there's nothing you could do. We've actually had it go in some patients or some people from stage 4 to stage 3. So it's stopped in its tracks and sometimes gone back a stage. So this is a tremendous product for the heart. I have some friends that I know take it, and they just don't have that little tiny every now and then like fear that, oh man, I got a little bit of a pain there. And it's dissipated with the guys that I know that I talk to that are religiously taking that. So that's for the heart and the entire cardiovascular system. So it helps with circulation as well. Plus Mind and Vision is for the brain and the eyes. They're connected together. Helps with acuity and better clarity. Helps your eyes get better. Carol Witt, I think Christine is like, she's really had some amazing progress with taking the Plus Mind and Vision. So you see, we're kind of touching the whole body. I mean, Cell Defender and the other things I mentioned first that covers everything. Now we're getting a little more specific. The other things are going to help with what I'm telling you here too. Like I said, everything works together. And everything's homeopathic. It can't hurt you. You can take, more or less, but there's a specific amount that is on the bottle that you might want to kind of stick with. But in severe situations, take more. Let's see. Let me touch. How am I doing on time there, Suzette?
You're doing very well. You've got another 10 minutes. You've been speaking very quickly.
Oh, okay. All right. I could slow down for a minute. All right.
You can also share a testimonial for your personal testimonial after if you like.
Sure. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Let me see. I'm going to go to Plus Relief. Again, and I know, hey, Joe, I see Joe Gershneck popped in there. I know that we could have this company with just this one product here as well, Plus Relief. So you have something that now we're talking about something immediate. Cell Defender, it's going to take time, right? It's going to take time. Some people like Christine and I, we had within a week, we felt clarity and more energy, right? I never forget, Christine called me like 11:30 one night after a few days of taking Cell Defender, and she asked me if there was speed in it. I think she was vacuuming her house or something. I said, no, pretty sure there's not. I don't know. I'm kind of like up too, so I'm still wide awake. But this Plus Relief, okay, you're talking about something that is derived from an Asian cobra venom, the monocle cobra. And Rick leases a cobra farm. So we're talking about literally milking cobras, right? He actually started with snails, but that was kind of a long, cumbersome process trying to milk a snail. So he found this particular cobra. And the coolest part is this is homeopathic, and it's also registered with the FDA. So we've got over 1,000 veterans off of opiates because of this. And here's some features of this that make it special. One, it's 600 times more powerful than morphine. That right there just blows your mind. And secondly, it has no taste, no smell. Third, the more you put it on, the less you need it. In other words, let's say I have my shoulder right now is a little bit, I don't know, I tweaked it somehow. So I put Plus Relief on it, and tomorrow it doesn't hurt, but the next day I feel a little bit more. I'll put it on again. Then next week I feel it, right? A little bit, I put a little bit more. And then 2 weeks later I feel it. So you understand what I'm saying? Any typical pain medication, the more you buy and the more you take, the more your body becomes immune. Now that's why people get hooked. Okay, I was taking 2 pills a day, and then in 6 weeks I'm taking 4. Now I'm taking 10. Now I'm hooked, right? This, it's not addictive. It's no narcotic in it. And it comes in 3 different delivery systems. It comes as a gel. You put it on within 20 to 30 minutes. Let's say my shoulder, within 20 minutes, I forget about the pain. You literally forget it was there. There's a roll-on, and there's a spray. We just discovered that you can actually swallow not only the spray but the gel. That blew my mind. I know Pat was on that call, and Joe, everybody probably was, but I was like, wait a minute. And this woman was pumping it into her husband's smoothie, the gel, and he loved it. His pain went away. And I'm like, okay. And then one of the ladies on the call, she went and took a time out and came back, and she had sucked it out of the pack, and she was like, it's not too bad. But the point is, this stuff it works crazy fast. The spray in the mouth, it takes a little bit more time, okay? But it's phenomenal product. Did you
May I just add something to that, Ed?
Sure.
I remember that Rick had said in a conversation that I had with him that many pain products actually kind of mask the pain, but with Plus Relief, it modulates the pain. So it takes away some pain, but adds other bits, so it's not so bad. I know I'm not explaining this very well, but it's more of a modulator rather than just removing the pain, which is bad for our body, so to speak. So we think we're invincible.
No, I'm glad you said that. No, that's absolutely right. It turns it down, right? Dials it down, and then it goes after inflammation and everything. And what it does, the big game out there now is peptides. Oh, you got to have a peptide. Well, we've had peptides for 20 years in our product. I mean, the peptides they go in the body, and they tie to the nerve endings. of where the nerve endings are. And it's funny. It's kind of like when they first go in there, it's like an invader. Body doesn't know what who are you? And it goes in, and it's like a loose bolt on a skinny screw. It's trying to adjust on that nerve ending, and where it calls it induced fit finally takes place, where now it's tightened up. Now it's tight, right? And that's why over time the pain just dissipates for longer periods, and ultimately, in many cases, just disappears. So, no, I'm glad you said that. That is something that I wanted to mention. But when somebody says, "Well, I take peptides," okay, well, we've had since '04. I don't know. Rick's had this product around for 26 years. We've had peptides all along, but we have the best in the world. So there's the difference. A couple more. Oh, Plus Motion. This is a fairly new product, about maybe 8 months to a year old, but Plus Motion now takes care of the joints. And this is something that as cartilage in our body breaks down, it stops that breakdown, the Plus Motion does, and it also rebuilds the cartilage. So it's tremendous for the joints. And again, this is one of those things too that happens pretty quick. I know when Rick first introduced it, I know that 10 days prior, he tried it himself, and he had a motorcycle situation where he basically did a wheelie and flipped over backwards and messed his shoulder up. And for years, he couldn't do this rotation. And he said he took his own product before he even, put it out to market. And he said he has that motion back. And that's his own. Mm-hmm.
Can I just mention something about Plus Motion myself? I had I have osteoarthritis here in this toe, and I'm allowed to say that because I diagnosed with that, right? For a professional physical therapist. But when I used the Plus Motion, I couldn't walk, I couldn't ride horses, and I couldn't play tennis. I was pretty unhappy. So I was at the conference. Within 3 days, I was back to as good as new. So amazing. Plus Motion. Yes.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, that combination with Plus Motion and the Plus Relief, and I have knee issues because I played baseball for so long, and there's something that's called Osgood slaughter, which is where one part of the knee outgrows the other bone part. And when I was 15, I went in to get a physical to go out for the high school baseball team, and the doctor told me that. I was like, "What is Osgood slaughter?" And he kind of told me. And I said, "Well, can I play baseball?" He said, "Yeah, you can play baseball, but later in life, it might bother you." Well, every now and then I feel it, I do a lot of walking, and I try to work out, frequently. And it's the combination of the Plus Motion and the Plus Relief that really, really makes a big difference. So coming down the stretch, want to touch Plus Energy. I always reminded of Christine when I think about Plus Energy, because Plus Energy is an all-natural energy drink that we have. Doesn't give you the jitters, no crashes, and coolest part is it's got our clean up toe light in it. And Christine, I said she was playing tennis with the tennis coach at West Point. I'll let you tell that, Christine. What happened there?
Yeah, I hit with he's the coach for the West Point women's team. And he said to me, "Wow, you're doing great. Why are you hitting the ball so much better and fast?" And it was the Plus Energy. So big difference in my relationship, my hand-eye coordination, and my focal point, my focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm trying to back to that Plus Relief real quick. I've talked to I don't know if you follow baseball at all. I talked to the senior advisor to the Washington Nationals baseball team, and he recruited me when he was a college coach to come play for him. I picked another school, but he and I remain friends, and I'm trying to get Plus Relief into that organization. And he told me, he said, "Ed, we're cutting edge." He said, "If our team physician approves it so that somebody's not going to not pass a drug test." I said, "Well, it's FDA registered." And he said, "I'm going to get our team physician on the phone with your biochemist. And if it passes," he said, "we'll send this all the way down through our organization, AAA, AA, all the way down through." And again, I'm just still waiting, but we'll see. But it's pretty cool that that's a possibility. So just a couple more things here. We have our Trim Science, which is basically we have a coffee and lemonade, and it thermogenically kind of heats up the body, helps with weight loss. I've not really taken it. But I know that there's tremendous results from it. The one thing I do love is our meal replacement. For me, that's a lazy way to make a quick lunch without having to make any food, and it tastes great. We have vanilla and chocolate, but the coolest part is it has 22 essential nutrients and vitamins in it and 21 grams of protein. So you're not missing a meal. It's not like you're just, putting something in your body, but it replaces a meal. And literally for 3-4 hours, I'm not hungry. And my nephew actually is 20 years old, works construction up in North Carolina in the mountains, and he wanted it because when he's out there working, he can dump it in his water bottle and shake it up, and he's really, really in shape, and he wants to get the protein, and he doesn't have time to sit down and eat. He can just do that real quick. So that, and the only other thing left, guys, that I know of is the pet products. We have Plus Relief. What is that? Which is Cell Defender? Yeah. So we have the Cell Defender for pets and the Plus Relief for pets.
And Plus Relief, and I can tell a quick story. My Shih Tzu just ruptured her ACL, and I've been using this, and she's doing amazing. So no surgery. She's back. She was on 3 legs when she first ruptured it, and now she's it's 3 weeks, and she's almost full weight bearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I didn't want to put her, I took her to the vet and they wanted to put her on gabapentin, and I am not fond of gabapentin because of what it does to their livers and their kidneys. So when he said gabapentin, I said, no, thank you. So this is it. And Boo's doing great.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's amazing how people will go and spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 because they love their pets. And I get that. But if you have something, at least you could try, give it a shot and see if that would do it. I've seen it happen a lot of times with friends' animals. And, this is the last product, but I have a friend, we have a friend, Doc Carter. He has that old country hillbilly sense of humor, and he loves being called hillbilly. That's not a derogatory statement. He's up in the mountains in Kentucky. And one day he called me and he said, Ed, man, that, only how Doc can talk, but one thing Doc does, he goes to the pound and he said, give me your sickest dog. They'd be like, what? I want your sickest dog. I want to get him better. I got something. And so he calls me and he says, man, Ed, he said that stuff Rick made, that Cell Defender for pets and that Plus Relief, he said, man, that nearly killed a friend of mine's dog. And I said, don't tell me that, dog. And I'm freaking. I'm like, what happened? What? He said, the dog was lethargic, laying around, never did a thing, never got up, greet anybody at the door, just kind of looked at you and had no energy. And he said, and my friend gave him both of those things. And about 2-3 days later, the dog got so excited, started running around the yard, ran out in the street and almost got hit by a car, nearly killed him. I said, all right, Doc, that's enough. So yeah, it works. It's incredible how it works. And the coolest part is the dogs know it helps them. And so they want it. Right. And they can just sense it. So anyway, that's pretty much all I think we have glutathione coming out. I heard, I don't know for sure, this week, and that is a game changer. I mean, for the liver, yeah, man, everybody's got to have that. So all I understand, and just hearing it through the grapevine, nothing solid, that all they have to do is label it and I guess put a price tag on it. So that's huge, guys. That is huge. I don't know what else Rick can do, but he'll come up with something. So that's the products. So yeah, but as far as Suzette, for me, it's clarity, it's preventative, it's knowing, it's that security blanket, knowing that, like, before I had Avini, if I was going to get some kind of blood work done, which I never really did, I'd be like, oh God, I don't know what they're going to find, But now it's like, I'm like, bring it on. Yeah, all right. I know it's going to be good because you got the army in there, right? You got the army that's defending you, and guys, this goes for little things that people are dealing with, to monster things, and there's a disease that is deadly, that everybody says there's no cure for it. Doc Carter has a cousin that in 10 months walked away from a situation that should have killed her 6 months ago. So it is extreme to just maintain, prevent, right? Why not? Don't wait. And for me, I just feel good all the time, and anytime I have to, if something comes about, like for example, if I have to hit the nano, I do it occasionally, but if I have to hit it, I know that I got something in my cabinet that can kill anything alive that I need dead. I need the dead in my body. I need to deaden it. But that's about all I got there, Suzette. But I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I am so grateful for your time, for your knowledge that you shared with us, and the simple way in that you shared with us that we all got it. So can we all just give Ed a round of applause and Avini UK?
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so
thank you.
much. And I also have a testimony around Plus Relief. And even in terms of blood work, I was extremely ill in March, and when I had blood work, they do like a red light, like a traffic lights thing to make it simple, red, amber, and green. And nearly everything, all of the blood work that they did was all in red. I was very ill. And I just had some blood work done on Friday, got the results, and everything is green. Everything, and that's down to using Cell Defender. I'm really grateful for that because I was concerned. I'm due to have an operation. So, when you were saying that they may not do the operation if, that was my concern. Am I still going to be in the same situation that I was in March? And thankfully, that is not the case. It's all good. So all systems go for Friday. And even with Plus Relief, I know that I have suffered with back pain for about 6 years. I shuffled and I waddled like a duck, I called it, because of the back pain that I was going through. And working, I would sometimes cry in my car after the end of the day because I kind of put a mask on to say it wasn't as bad as it was, because I didn't want them to know how I was suffering. And after about 4 days, I was walking and whistling and singing to myself. And then I got to my car and I'm thinking, why am I singing? It's really weird that when you're feeling good, right, you start to question it. Why am
Yeah, it's like, this is kind of weird. I feel good. What's up?
Exactly. So I'm like, why am I singing? I sat there and I thought, hold on a minute, where's the pain?
Yeah.
There's no pain.
Yeah.
I hadn't experienced that for 6 years. I'm talking about taking very strong painkillers every day, which made me drowsy. And now I'm walking straight or normally, and I'm singing to myself because I'm so happy not to be in that same situation. So that's what brought me to Avini, and why I am here hosting Avini Vibes UK.
Well, I'm very proud of you for doing that, and I love that, and I'm very proud of Christine. She is the one that called me 3 some odd years ago and said, "What do you think about this?" And I said, "Yeah, I think it's great." And Carol Witt, who's not here right now, was she's the
No,
driving
Carol's
force.
with us now.
Joined us. She's here. Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, Carol.
Carol's with us.
Hey, Carol. Sorry,
I
only can see.
got to hear your awesomeness for about 15 minutes, Ed. It was awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
you missed all of my awesomeness then. Oh man. No, hey, I just no, and one thing last for me, parting words, I will say, thanks, Carol. You're the best. Thank you. Carol's the only person I know that is a walking advertisement for the Nano Silver. I was there in Dallas and we're sitting there having lunch, and she had been spraying Nano on one arm, and she had all these little brown spots, I guess, and we sit at lunch. She puts her arms on the table and she said, "Look at this." I'm like, oh my God. I said, one arm has no spots. The other arm has 1,000 of them. I said, "You're pretty bold walking around kind of lopsided there, but she's like, but it's crazy. And she's got the most, she's got really nice skin as well. And so you can put that stuff on your face anywhere. But the last thing I'll say, guys, is once you figure out what we have, right, you get inspired that you want to share it, because if you don't, it's like your obligation to. You need to, you have to, because you don't want to be in a situation where I was afraid they might say no, but it could save a life. It could make a big difference. And I got a call from a guy that told me his dad had 10 days left to live. This is about 6 months ago. And he said, "What do I do?" I said, "You need Cell Defender today or yesterday." And the worst part is he had already had some, but he didn't ever use it. and he ordered Cell Defender, and he lives right by headquarters, close to where like I live. And he went down and got it that day, and he started giving his dad at 10 drops every waking hour. And I was at his funeral 14 days later. You know, if he'd have got a hold of it maybe 3 or 4 months earlier, you don't know. But that's why I say it's so important. We've been given a privilege to share this, you know, with the best biochemists in the world and the best products in the world. And everybody needs it, whether it be just for preventative measures or ailments that they have. We're in a spot where I look at this as a privilege to share this. And I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, pay is just a byproduct of sharing it, and the calls you get are just so gratifying. So just hang in there, guys. I mean, you know, things bust loose when you least expect it. Somebody gets a story to tell, and then here we are. Who knew, Christine? I didn't know we were going to be in the UK. You know, when we first started, I didn't know we were Canada.
A conversation that Carol and I had. Because Christine spoke to Carol. Carol enrolled me, and Carol and I were having a conversation. She's like, "You need to bring Avini Vibes to UK. That's what we need to do." And here I am. Anyway, I am conscious of the time, so I'm going to draw it to a close. Ed, once again, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and hearing everything that you had to share.
Thank you.
So as we come to the end of this evening, thank you all so much for spending your evening with us. We hope you're leaving feeling informed, inspired, and encouraged, more so than when you joined us. And if you were invited by someone, please reconnect with that person. They'll be delighted to answer any of your questions, hear your thoughts, and help you decide what, if any, next steps there are. We start again, Suzette. Which steps are right for you, if any? So also, if you've been listening this evening, you may have found yourself thinking of a friend, a colleague, or a family member who you may think would benefit from hearing about Avini too. So why don't you invite them to join us next week with you? And at Avini Vibes UK, we believe that the information is best experienced. Conversations do change lives, and community makes the journey even better. So thank you once again for being part of Avini Vibes UK. I want you to have a wonderful evening. Take good care of yourselves, and we look forward to welcoming you again, perhaps with a friend, next week. So good night, everyone. Take good care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much.